Hi, I'm Jennifer Farrell. I am doing my presentation on Soldier's Home by Ernest Hemingway. He wrote this when he was 26. Ernest Hemingway was born in 1899 in Illinois. At the age of 62, he committed suicide by shooting himself in the head. That's also how his father committed suicide. He tried to join the U.S. Army but failed the medical exam. So then he decided to become an ambulance driver in World War I for the Italian Army. He served in the front lines and was wounded by machine gun fire. And when he returned to the U.S., he was welcomed as a hero, and he also got married. So what happens in A Soldier's Home is it's about a young man named Krebs. He's the main character. He joined the Marines during World War I and was stationed in Germany. He returned to the U.S. after just 2 years. He had a hard time adjusting to civilian life. He lied a lot about his war experiences, and he had a hard time relating to the girls in his hometown too. Krebs also had a hard time relating with his family, especially with his mom. So at the end of the story, he finally decides to move away from home to get a job. The meaning of A Soldier's Home is I think mostly about how war changes people. Before Krebs went to World War I, he seemed like the typical college guy. When he came back from the war, he seemed to be pretty antisocial. I think he got used to having relationships with the German girls, and he didn't have to have much conversation with them in order to have relationships with them. I think the author is trying to show in that war makes it really hard for a lot of soldiers to have meaningful relationships with people, especially romantic relationships with women. Krebs also has a hard time relating with his family once he gets back, especially with his mom. His mom drills him a lot about his belief in God, and she seems really disappointed that he doesn't seem to have like typical 1920s ideas about God, and she tries to get him to pray and things like that, and he doesn't want to, but he at the same time tries to get along with his mom, I think. And I think the author is trying to show in that war changes a lot of soldiers' belief in God. I think it mostly is trying to say that it takes soldiers who had like typical beliefs in God and makes them kind of not believing in God anymore. So my final thoughts on this story is that I think it's really interesting that our technology has changed so much since World War I, but it seems like our soldiers are still coming home from war feeling pretty much the same way, of feeling changed and in kind of a bad way, and not having a hard time fitting back into where they came from. So that's the end of my presentation. Thank you.